Hello, hello. My name is Lisa Loring, and it's Saturday, July 17th. I didn't forget. I got in kind of late from visiting friends last night, and I was just tired. It was a tough week. Old Black Moon Lilith. I have a not great. I mean, I don't. No matter where Black Moon Lilith is in your chart, it's like never is a good time. You know that saying. Um, uh, yeah. There's no great Black Moon, but mine is in Leo, so I'm gonna have actually. Yeah, the sun's gonna transit my natal Black Moon Lilith, and in the house of Leo, it's you're like always afraid to have fun, which explains a lot about me. Why I like always am like really hardworking, and I often will see the glass is half empty. But I work really, but yet I'm weirdly an optimist, and like I have a lot of hope. So anyway, but where Black Moon Lilith is in your chart is just a place where you have struggles and where you yeah, like I don't know, maybe I had too much fun in a past life, like went off the rails or something like that. I've done my fair share of that in this lifetime too, but ugh, it is what it is. So, we make amends if we can. We keep being there for people we love and keep showing up even if we keep fucking up. There it is. All right, so I'm showing up tonight. We always try to do better. When we learn something, we do better. And I don't know about you, when I learn something about myself or some like weird thing that I'm doing, when it finally locks in, like it can take a minute to lock in. I can be a little slow, a little dense like that. But when it finally locks in, you never do it again, right? Or you catch yourself. It's growth. Speaking of growth, I've got like 2 different drinks I'm working on tonight. Feeling tea, but I'm also feeling my water. I haven't had one of these in a while. So refreshing. That one's grapefruit. I like the new pineapple one. That one's pretty good. All right, so I didn't do a reading last night because I was very tired. Black Moon Lilith finally moved out. I remember when I was talking about her. She finally moved out of Taurus, and Taurus is the house of. It's not that your zodiac wheel would have Taurus in the second house per chance, but the sign of Taurus, no matter what, is all about your self-worth. Self-worth, how you value yourself, the things that you value, and you better start with yourself first, or you're valuing everything else besides yourself. Again, there's another place where I like to get hung up. Yeah. Our values are self-worth. She finally moved out of that house, but she was hanging out at the 29th degree for like 10 days. The 29th degree of any sign is like the culmination of like everything in that sign. And so there's like an urgency to kind of dot the I's and cross the D's and get it all done. And did I do it? But Black Moon Lilith is going to bring up like all your fears about that. You have to face your fears. And some people, it's a tough degree. They have a tough house. So she moves to 0 degree Gemini, so we'll be like kind of relaxed for a little while because she's not really moved into Gemini completely. Then it'll be like fears about our thoughts and our thought patterns, but we've already done a lot of work on that. So it'll be interesting to see like how we can like work our new skills in that arena, because we had Mercury go retrograde in Gemini recently. Just came out of that. Good stuff. Lots of growth for everybody this year. I'm grateful. Very good. All right, so Yeah, I was tired last night. I was going to do it. I was going to do it. I was going to do it. I'm like, let me take a bath. And I'm like, no, I am so tired. I was in bed by 11 o'clock last night. It's like unheard of. And I woke up and it was a lot lighter. I could feel the lightness coming in before I went to bed, but I knew it was important for me to go to bed. See? Self-care. That's a Taurus thing. Getting enough rest. Self-worth. I don't need to do this right now. I need to go to sleep. Or I need to eat some food. That kind of thing. Taking care of yourself first. So what are the energies for Sunday, July 18th, 2021? I made a great recipe. Check out the post I did and the link I put to the recipe. It was so good. I'm dying to make it. It was a lot of fun to make. I like to cook. Love to cook. Like a lot. What are the messages for Sunday, July 18th? This is the Gilded Tarot by Barbara Moore. I think Chira Marchetti is the artist for this stuff. Thank you to both of those very talented individuals for bringing us a very beautiful, artful, vibrant deck. Beautiful energies, beautiful take on tarot. So the energies for Sunday, what do we have to work with? For the opportunities. Yes, and only Sunday. Got one coming out. The Seven of Swords. This card has been coming up quite a bit lately. Okay. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is, still habitual patterning that can be showing up. Our determination, it could be theft, it could be draining of energy, it could be a draining of energy of somebody coming in and destabilizing us, or thoughts that come in, behaviors that come in that can destabilize, or again, an opportunity to look at like how we work in a destabilizing situation without being overly defensive. It's being very defensive in thoughts in a way that the Five of Swords can be, but then this is like picking up your thoughts and like, I'm determined to go this way, and I'd love to grab these two as well, but I can't quite fit all the swords in my arms. Oh, there's a Siamese cat in this, and I never realized that. Goddess Bast has been coming up a lot for me. I've been working with her, patroness of cats. Cats are basically, Bast in earthly form. Egyptian goddess. And he's glancing over his shoulder. And that cat's kind of looking back at him. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what this green is under my fingers. It's like ink. Yeah. Let's see what other cards come up with this. Seven of Swords energy. Truth bomb kind of thing, dropping truth and, but still like kind of, being very determined about doing whatever it is that you're doing, no matter what, whether or not it agrees with your heart or not. This is that energy of not checking in with the heart and our energy. And it was all about that. Like, listen to your heart wisdom. last week. Moving out of codependent situations. Like meeting those codependent situations and seeing how far, rather than getting kind of sucked back into them, like seeing how much you've grown, or, working, where things have come up that are, seem to have, take a breath here because I want to articulate this carefully. Having things come up, say like fear of acting, fear of doing things, fear of any kind of negative rulership, any kind of like heavy negative thing that's kind of like caused you to go into patterns or been a structure or philosophy by which you've lived, and that is no longer serving you, but you're still kind of living in it no matter either, because you can't get out of it. That's almost like an Eight of Swords energy, which is where basically this card leads us, right? It leads us from, I'm taking all of this, and then you've built your own jail. This is not listening to the heart. Listening to logic and stuff that's outdated wiring, like thinking, that Geminian kind, like I just said, like I was talking about Black Moon Lilith. Going into that, it's going to be the opportunity to work with some of that stuff and to really see where it's outdated. Working with the shadow kind of aspects of our thought patterns and shedding some light. The Sun card has been coming up a lot in my own personal stuff as well as in the readings that we've been doing. So shedding light on that stuff. So we can start to, it's no longer quote unquote dark, right? And it's, you can hear dark and think, oh, evil. No, it's not evil, not necessarily, and in most cases, not at all. It's just something that's unexpressed, or it expresses itself in a really screwy way, because it's just this faulty patterning, and it doesn't know how to like work properly. So you start to shed some light on it, you start to work with it and cultivate it, and then it becomes a very different energy, right? Now it's no longer dark energy, right? It's kind of that simple. But we get so fearful about something being dark and uncertain. It's something you don't know, that we automatically keep kind of wanting to push it away and then kind of brand it as evil. That's that kind of thinking. That's Seven of Swords stuff, right? And then you're in that Eight of Swords, that kind of jail of your own making. So we have Seven of Swords coming up. And we've got the Hanging Man. So yes, something has happened. Something not so great has gone down here. And we're kind of having to sit it out and think about things for a little while. But a Hanging Man is, despite its precarious imagery and aspect, is actually, and I do see that the Sun is involved in that. Again, this is exactly what I was saying. Looking at these patterns, looking at those codependent patterns, right? And seeing where they come up. They can come up in not just relationships, they can come up in stuff in yourself. They can come up with, I don't know, codependency on having the same tea every night. I don't know. Like it can come up in finances. It can come up in all kinds of different partnerships and any kind of relational thing you have with anything. Just see how hooked in you are to those, staying the same way. So we are looking at these things. So the Hanging Man is here. Maybe, last week those things kind of came up, and this is the week where we work with them, and we have to kind of sit with them. And that Hanging Man is that has like a hermit kind of thing to it, but it's even more, without it being like this little like guy with a little lantern. This is like, no, you got to hang upside down. You got to look at it from a very different perspective, and you're going to be forced into that because we're going to hang you upside down in order to do it. So shake things up a little bit. It's not just like going off with a little lantern to a cave. Now this is like for everybody to see. You're not doing this. It's an inside job, but it's probably going to be fairly public. This person is brightly dressed. This person was going somewhere, whereas the hermit's kind of in his robe. He's at home. This is an external opportunity to work with that. And it is the 12th card. It is a Piscean card, so it's like we've got our other card coming up, and then Justice coming in. So yeah, you know, here we are. And Justice was coming up at the bottom of the deck the other night. And in this card, Justice is blind, but the sun is strongly featured. This is an opportunity to set things in balance, to shed that light on the darkness. So let's angle the camera down and let's see what we have. So this is for Sunday, July, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this helps us to see what we value. This isn't like, you know, running and playing the lottery, but it is something of value is coming in as a result of doing this kind of work. Getting myself a little drink. So the Justice's card is here to, you know, show us that, you know, it could be a legal situation. You know, that's the obvious thing, you know, that comes up with that card. But no matter what, Justice is the card of Libra. And in this card, you know, this is a Libran, the aspect of Libra is about bringing balance into any kind of relationship. So when I'm telling you, this screams all the codependent stuff that kind of showed up in our lives last week. Guess what? This is our opportunity to shed that light on it and to actually look at it and to bring it into balance and to move away and to work with it. So you want to work with this gently, right? I love where I've come personally in my own various, in lots of different arenas that have shown my codependent habits. And it's not easy work. It definitely feels like this. You know, it definitely feels like, you know, you're strung out, you're hung upside down, and you know, it's this, and it hasn't been in the shadows at all. So this is a real opportunity to work with all of that stuff and to really bring the sun on it, to bring it to light, to get into those arenas and kind of flex with it. But you don't, you know, when you find yourself in these upside down and these destabilizing kinds of situations, it is, you know, just take your time. Even though you're hanging upside down, you know what, the hell with it. Stay hanging. And this is the central card. You've got two major arcanas here. Again, major signposts, and then you have an ace, which isn't a major arcana per se, but it is a, you know, it is the beginning or the ending, depending on how you prefer to look at it in tarot. It is the beginning of the suit of pentacles, and it's like the quintessential. It's got everything wrapped up in one. And look, that Seven of Cups is back again, and the World card. So we're still looking at we're still making choices. We're still making choices, and we're still, you know, sifting through our emotions to help us make some decisions and plans and deciding how we feel about things. And although it's not the Wheel of Fortune card, which came up, it is the World card. So, you know, this is something, again, that we're doing on a kind of, it's kind of happening on a global level, and it's not just in, you know, just in our own personal arena. This may be happening in different pockets of our lives all across the board. The Emperor is here. He's back again. So we do have the strength to do this and to continue to, you know, move into different levels of mastery. I don't know if you remember the reading from a couple of nights ago where the Knight of Pentacles came in after. Knight of Pentacles was in the reading twice last week, but the Knight of Pentacles came in after the Three of Pentacles. And in that reading, it was like I saw those mountain ranges, and that continues to resonate with me as we've moved through the past several days. I'm sorry, I keep shifting around because my back and I'm still not feeling, you know, 100%. But anyways, so I just apologize if that's distracting. But at any rate, maybe it's only distracting me. Anyway, there's that. So, but that mountain range that was in, you know, in the background on the Three of Pentacles, and then it was also there in the Knight of Pentacles. You know, we keep kind of ascending these mountainous, arduous kinds of events and, you know, opportunities of growth in our lives. but we're doing it and we're getting, we keep kind of, it feels like, yeah, we're doing these climbing. And if you've ever done any kind of hiking, it feels like, you kind of make these like mini ascents before you finally get to this, the pinnacle of what you were trying, of the entire hike of what it was all about. And this is kind of the same thing. You were kind of, surmounting this big piece, and oh boy, wow, I've really done it. I've made it, blah, 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 blah. But you're like, no, there's more to go. And so that's kind of the same thing. And this is one of those opportunities. So where that Knight of Pentacles took us, he got on his horse at the end and he had his pentacle there. And we were going in, we were now taking a horse through to the next, through our next piece of the journey, and to meet that next mountain that we were going to climb. Climb every mountain, Definitely Sound of Music like that. That song is so great. That song is perfect for this for what we're going through now. But at any rate, and then, so there we get. So once we do start to shed light on this, once we do start to bring balance to the situation, to, seeing that these old patterns, to getting into those situations and having an opportunity to work with them, and take that step back and be like, okay, I've got to kind of like deal with this and figure out how I'm going to work this situation, or work with this situation, and to gain stability. So, in this card, just like in any kind of hanging man, you always have a number 4, and he's got his legs in the number 4 configuration. And although he seems like he's very flailing and whatnot here, and it seems as though he's in chains, some of these chains are not actually even, very well attached. It's really, what is he attached to? It's just kind of wrapped around. So eventually he does get loose of that. He seems pretty adept at what he's doing, and he's going to figure it out. He's probably working to flip himself up, turn himself around, and at that point, be in a position where he can turn, he's in a position where he can shed some light on the situation and bring balance to it. Through, how he feels about it, how he's going to work with it. And you find something of value at the end. You have to really determine what it is that you value. Self-worth is the key here, is to always go back on all the stuff that you've done in your self-worth. And that doesn't mean that we, necessarily shut things out. We create boundaries, and I'm, in these situations, creating some boundaries around that is really important. But the boundaries are there so you can, number one, just continue to work the deal. And and sift through take the time to sift through the various emotions that you have about the situation. And when we do that, then we really do have the world, and we're doing well in all the various areas of our life. And here we are. Of course, we've got this this Emperor showing up. So when we take the time to do this, and this is all about taking the time, it does have that Hermit aspect, but it is kind of it does have, this guy has a little more action with his with his movement. It's more of an active meditation. So that's the feel of it. And I have a funny feeling that this is not just, that whenever I do a reading that's moving into the Sunday, I feel like this is energy that we're going to be working through for the entirety of the week. And I definitely want you to go back and look at that one that I said was going to carry us through July 23rd. I'm going to look at that one too, to be honest with you, to see exactly what it was I was saying that made me, go back to that. But that probably continues. There are some themes in there that probably will tie into this. So I'm going to leave that one for a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one from the Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle. I haven't pulled from this one for a little while. This one's by Selena Fenich, and the guidebook, Selena Fenich, I think, is the artist. Yeah, and Lucy Cavendish is the author. So what do the fairies have to say about, what's the commentary on this reading for Sunday, July 18th, 2021? What is the commentary on this from the fairies? Hi, Cece. What are you doing? Hey, pretty girl. My cats is here. Miss Cece. Miss Cece. Hello. What are you doing? Oh, looks like you just ate something. You're licking your lips. Did you eat some of Nani's good food? Oh my goodness. Yeah. What do the fairies have to say on this reading? It took a while for those cards to come out, so. What is the energy from the fairies? Fairies are very reluctant. Shoot. Until they're not. Okay. Snail's pace. Slow down, grounding, listening for the heartbeat of the earth, subtle energies. Listen for the heartbeat. What does your heart tell you? Listen to your feelings. Take time to sift through all the feelings, the ones that make you angry, the ones that make you sparkly, the good ideas, the ones that are creative, the ones that are, if something feels like something's growing, or ones that, are maybe just have been growing for so long they're not useful. What feels peaceful? What feels promising? What feels divine? There's all kinds of ways that you can work with that card. So yeah, slow down, grounding, listen for the heartbeat of the earth, subtle energies. So definitely take it slow. Go, like I said, be gentle with yourself as you do this kind of work. In whatever situations you encounter, no fast decisions. Take the time to shed some light. It's the 22 card, so anything can happen on the 22 number. It's very innovative. Slow down, grounding, listen for the heartbeat of the earth, subtle energies. This beautiful fairy is entranced by the graceful, slow movement of her friend the snail. She observes each movement forward and understands how far he comes, though, in comparison to her, he moves slowly. She reminds us that we all travel at our own pace and that there is much to be said for taking time to slow right down and observe the signs around us. The other thing here is I want to say is that, with snail's pace, this is also taking the time to observe and take in the energy of what's coming toward you, whatever that situation, be it a person, a project, a work situation, the energy of whatever's going on in the environment. Take time to observe that and let that be part of how, you work your decisions and how you figure things out, rather than being fully defensive and like this guy, what actually is going on. Take the time to observe. The snail has the right to has the time to converse with the fairy, to have conversation, to share, to show. She has not rushed through this encounter, and she has become quiet, centered, and observant as a result. In this space, you are able to discern what is truly taking place and read the signs around you. When all is rushed and hurried, when all is the barrage of smells and light and shocks that our world can be, slow movement can seem less vital. But she asks you now to slow down, to sit on your mother, the earth, and watch the life of her creatures. And I also am thinking, what's coming up for me is, as things begin to open up and we're so anxious to get, to doing this, that, and the other thing, it's, I think, even more vital to slow down and cultivate and go back to the things that we valued, that we came to value during our time of lockdown and during our time alone. And as you do, know that you too are one of her creatures, and one of your roles is to read the signs and the movements of all creatures, no matter how humble. Please understand that you have the right to do nothing from time to time. Within that quiet, peaceful space comes fresh energy for inspiration, creativity, and cooperation. So another thing I want to talk about with this hanged man is that, even though he seems like he's kind of desperate to get out of the situation, don't fall into that trap. Just hang. And know that it's not forever. Let yourself feel the feelings. They're not going to be that feeling forever. You're not going to be stuck there forever, as you can see. Let yourself have the moment, even if it's uncomfortable and super uncertain. And, you know, I get it. I don't love being in that energy either. But if you can calm, and if we can calm and be there, be very surprised at what does come to light, and the balance that, you know, and the grace and the skills that you come from moving yourself out of that situation. Without it, with that quiet, peaceful space comes fresh energy for inspiration, creativity, and cooperation. Without it, we can burn with resentment even as we overcome our own hardest taskmaster. No one is in charge of you but you. You are the authority in your own life, and you have the right to call for a timeout to assess your life. You may feel estranged from your magical divinity, but please take the time to reconnect and witness the peace and loving energy that flows in your life, creating loving communication, enriching work, and boosting your creativity. Everything we've been talking about. Divinatory meaning. The fairies can see beneath the shell you present to others, and they know too that you doubt your own impact and influence. But they look upon you tenderly, and they wish for you to take this time to slow down, find your own pace and place in the world, and go your own way. This fairy's appearance signifies oh so strongly that it is time for you to find the path that is your own. While others may see you as lazy or even slow and a little foolish, that is none of your business. It is time to slow down, to check your pace, and to find the rhythm that feels best to you. And know that you have a fairy guardian watching over you, happy to see you moving into your own energy, time, and space. You can be lonely at times and need to be aware of your surroundings. Your hard shell protects a sweet and soft being. You leave behind silvery beauty, an energy stream that is discernible to those who are as sensitive as you are. Do not confuse slowing down for a time of stasis, as from this soft contemplation of a gentle pace you will create anew. When you observe the creative forces that you have mustered together and released into the material world, you will realize that your thoughts have created the tangible reality about you. What do you see that you love? What would you like to incorporate into your life? There will soon be many new choices. Seven of Cups. For now, please work on nurturing, protecting, and loving yourself by keeping a slow and gentle pace. Pay attention to what is happening in each moment. Listen to your heartbeat. Feel it echo throughout creation. Reversed meaning, if it was reversed, there is a feeling that you must push and push and push yourself at present. You feel guilty about slowing down and simply being. There is a feeling that you simply must fill up every moment of space. There is an opportunity to take stock at present, but you may be engaging in avoidance behavior, creating tasks even when none truly exists, placing high expectations on yourself to never take it easy, and even holding others responsible for your self-inflicted excessive workload. So yeah, basically everything we've been talking about this whole reading. And honestly, this energy, I've been working with that myself this past week, you know, and reflecting on my physical limitations and what I can do and what I can't do and what's reasonable and the guilt around it. So that was some of the Black Lilith stuff that was coming up for me last week. And yeah, it's going to take some mental getting out of those old mental tapes, belching voices that never served me, and still I got to grapple with them. So we will do it though if we take that time. I hope you do. I love this reading. I'll come back tomorrow night, do another one. I love you guys. Comment, like, subscribe, share, whatever on any of the platforms where I'll post this. Yeah, get the word out to anybody you feel like you know who would needs to hear it. And thank you for those who make donations. And I have PayPal and Venmo on there if you feel so inclined. And yeah, and if you want to join the private reading, just let me know. You know where to find me. All right. I love you guys. Have a great one. Bye.